Suppose that for the past 25 years, Kiko has contributed $2,500 to his RRSP at the beginning of every 6 months. The plan earned 8% compounded annually for the first 11 years and then switched over to earning 7% compounded semi-annually for the next 14 years. What's the value of his RRSP today? Since this question is a little bit more complicated to tackle with formulas, I'm going to choose to tackle this problem using the calculator, and I'm going to break it up into 2 pieces. I'm going to ask the calculator to calculate the future value after the first 11 years has passed, and then we'll take that value that we get, we'll program that in as the principal amount or present value, and then deal with the remaining 14 years in step 2. Notice that in both cases, the payments of $2,500 are happening at the beginning of every 6 months. So we are going to need to make sure that our calculator is set into begin mode or annuities due mode. Okay, we can go ahead and also fill in our equal sized payments of $2,500. Since we're contributing to the RRSP, let's take these to be negative. If payments are happening at the beginning of every 6 months, that means there are 2 payments per year in both cases. And now let's focus on working with the first part of our problem here. So for the first 11 years, we have 8% compounded annually. So 8's going to go in for IY, and then we're going to have 1 compound per year. Let's assume that the account opened up with $0, so we'll take the principal amount to be 0. We are going to be looking for the future value here, so the last thing we need is to determine N. Well, if we're making semi-annual payments for 11 years, that means we should have 22 equal-sized payments altogether. So currently my calculator is in N mode. I'm just going to go second payment, second set, to get into begin mode and then go ahead and quit out of that sub-menu. Now I can start programming in some of the parameters I need, so 22 for N, 8 for our interest rate. We do need to go into our sub-menu here. We're going to program in PY as 2 and CY as 1. Let's put 0 in for the principal amount. We'll put negative $2,500 in for our payment size, and then ask the calculator to compute the future value. So after the first 11 years, we should have about $88,189.06 in the account. And what we want to do is we want to carry that over for the next 14 years. So we're going to take that future value, we're going to input that in as our present value here for part 2. So let's put that in as a negative 88,198.06. So let's move into the second part. We have 7% compounded semi-annually now, so we're going to have to update our CY as well as our IY. And for N, we have 14 years of semi-annual payments. So 14 times 2, that's 28 payments altogether. And again, we're going to ask the calculator to calculate the future value of this stream. So let's go ahead, let's take our 88,198.06. I'm just going to turn that into a negative and program that in for our PV. Our PMT is already in correctly. Let's go into our sub menu so that we can update PY and CY. We just need to update CY to be 2. Okay, we're going to go ahead and exit here. We do have to update our interest rate to be 7%. And then we are going to have to update our N value to 28 as well. Okay, so with all that in, we should be able to compute now our future value of the annuity. And that gives us a final answer of $350,847.50.